Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Have you ever just run into something and said, I'm not going to do that again?
And I will not be bullied by that.
So today's video is kind of about that. There's 5 different bottles that I've said I'm not going to buy again. And they have different reasons, and I'll go through the reasons behind that as I go through the bottles. But before I get into that, Jesus Ortega, I'm telling you, it wasn't this past weekend, but the weekend before. I was asking on a live stream, is there any good Texas bourbons? Because I just hadn't had a good experience. But I did mention I had a Balcones that I liked. And then, yeah, I tell you what, in true Texas fashion, some of my Texans on here, Victor sent me a Milliman Green. Jesus got me another Balcones to try. Looking forward to trying that tonight in the video. Got my Texas glass out for my Texans out there. Absolutely appreciate y'all. Jesus was even talking about, in some private chat moments that we have, we email back and forth a bit, which I absolutely appreciate. I'd love to contact people and talk with people. For those that don't know, Jesus, also known as the Bloody 81, he's active military. Sent me some awesome patches on top of this token last time too. Thank you so very much for that. You don't realize how much it really means that you take something personally of yours like that means something and get it to me where I can display it out, because I absolutely appreciate what you do for our country, Jesus. Thank you very, very much. Looking forward to some of this Balcones. Man. This ain't a way to finish out a night. I don't know what is. We had some stormy weather here rolling through the southeast. Thunderstorms of lightning, but nothing like a good bourbon to settle you down at the end of the day. Also, don't forget, before I go over these 5 bottles I won't buy again, there's 5 bottles here that are up for grabs. So don't forget, I'll put the link in the description. If you are a subscriber, over 21, continental US, you're on that video and you say that magical phrase or word in the comments, you have an opportunity to be drawn on September 1st. Now, as long as we're not in the middle of a hurricane, September 1st, I will be down on the Florida Panhandle. So if it rolls through and the weather's permitting, I'll be down there. But my hopes are to be on a live stream Friday night, hopefully with my buddy Matt at Whiskey Wisdom, and go over and get those 5 names drawn. I think it'd be great to have it done on a live stream. We'll do it on there. And then that Saturday, I'll go ahead and post those names that were drawn on that Friday night. If I can't by chance get on there for Matt on Whiskey Wisdom, I'll get the 5 names drawn. I'd use a randomizer. And then first come, first serve. You're number 1, you get first pick. Number 2 gets second pick. That way, plus there'll be a sample pack and a blind pack. Well, the sample pack and blind pack will be combined, but there'll be at least 6 options there. So definitely looking forward to that. I hope you and your family are looking forward to a nice Labor Day weekend. I know a lot of us work really, really hard, and this is a nice time to, kind of kick off the beginning of the school year, the end of the summer, but have a nice long weekend with family and friends. Get another sip of this Balcones. Thank you, Jesus. I'm telling you, that Milliman Green and this Balcones, I can get behind. So as we go into this 5 bottles that I wouldn't buy again, what kind of started us on this was kind of, is there some good Texas whiskeys out there? Well, the one that kind of threw me off to begin with was Garrison Brothers. Now, it's just not my thing. Other people may really, really like this, but I've used it in a blind just because it's not my thing, and maybe other people think more highly of it. It didn't really do very well in the blind. Maybe it's just not this area's thing. Maybe it's more of a Texas thing. But I don't have a lot of Texas people standing up and saying, Garrison Brothers is my thing and here's the reason behind it. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not a big fan of it, but I wouldn't buy this again. And some of their other expressions, we have a term here in the South that if something's really, really expensive, that they're very proud of it. So Garrison Brothers is very proud of their juice. And for me, it just didn't make sense, the price tag on it. I would have to find a pour somewhere, you know, for some of their higher dollar stuff to see if it really made sense to me. As this being kind of their staple, it just didn't make sense to me, and I was not the biggest fan of this. So this is something that I wouldn't buy again. So on the list, number 5, Garrison Brothers. Does it mean I won't ever try them again? No. I'm never going to say never to things. They may have different expressions. They may have different ages come out, different proof points, which maybe will hit me. But as far as the standard fare, Garrison Brothers, just not me. Now, I would like to know if anyone out there really wants to pound the table on this Garrison Brothers. Tell me why. In the comments, put, you know, Sean, you're losing your mind. You're ridiculous. This is an amazing bourbon. This is why. You know, and I'd love to read it. I try to read every one of your comments and at least answer them. You know, I know there may get to a point one day where I can't answer them all, but I still would like to read them and at least go through it. But pound the table if you can tell me why Garrison Brothers is something I'm sleeping on. I just can't figure it out. This has got like a thick honey taste to it, which I really dig. And I know this is a higher proof. I'm sure it's between, I can't remember the exact proof, between 125 and 130 something, but it doesn't drink that way. It's got a nice thick mouthfeel to it too, which I really enjoy. This second bottle, number 4 on the list, it kind of falls into the same category here. And this one kind of broke my heart a little bit. So this is John Emerald Purveyor Series Double Wood Rye. And you think, well, I haven't heard of them, or why would it break your heart? This is right down the road from me. And if you watch this channel for any period of time, you know I love my local distilleries. I love 13th Colony. I love ASW. I love some of the stuff Y'all Come On Man is doing. Or Yeah Come On, sorry. Yeah Come On is doing. You know, Whiskey Wisdom, they have a 10-year barrel pick that's coming out with them. And I've really enjoyed that. So when I got something over here in Opelika, which is literally 20 minutes down the road from my house, I thought, please, you know, just be something that I'm going to be like pounding the table on. You got to get it. Let me get people to taste this. I've got other bottles of John Emerald stuff. But after this one, I said, and I don't bash. I try not to bash things. It's just not my thing. This bottle was not my thing. I know that they've got some other stuff, and I'm going to try some of their other stuff, and I'm hoping I'll find something that I can bang the table on and go, you need to get this. This, it just isn't my thing. It's the rye with pecan wood chips in there. To me, it's just got a funk that I just don't appreciate. I'm sure there's other people that like this, but for me, it's not a bottle that I would buy of this again. Now, will I buy some of their other expressions? Absolutely, because I believe that they're trying to do things the right way there. And I want to find something, hopefully, that I can say, this is a bottle that I'll stand behind, that I would serve somebody and I would like. Now, am I going to throw this out or drain pour this? Hell no. It's too valuable to do stuff like that. Will I leave it here on the bar and go back periodically and try it? Yeah. People that are going to be wanting to drink it, I'll say, you want to try something local? I'll steer them this direction. And they can make their own mind up. Because just because I don't care for something or it's not my thing doesn't mean it's horrible. It's just not something I'm going to buy again. So those two were based strictly on taste. And so the next 3 bottles are based on not only taste, but maybe the price associated with the bottles. And you've got to factor that in now. You know, these are, you know, not break the bank bottles, but if you're getting something that's up there in price, you expect to have something that's going to match that price point, that it's worthy to you, that you can say, I can justify having this as a Friday pour or a special occasion pour or when friends or family are coming in pour type of thing. So these are the ones that you really, really want to have, and you want to say, this is something that I'm very interested in. So first bottle here shouldn't be, I don't know, maybe it's a surprise to some, but the Woodford Reserve Master Collection number 18. You know, even at the Alabama Lottery, where I get this at, this is $130+ bottle. And for the juice inside, the juice for me is not worth the squeeze. At 90 proof, I don't mind lower proof stuff, but you better have exceptional taste if you're gonna come in a 700 milliliter bottle, even though the bottle's built like a war club. Absolutely love the bottle. But you better have exceptional taste to when I sit back and I enjoy this, I'm going on a ride somewhere with it at 90 proof for 130, 140 bucks. It better be something special. It better be something that just sets me on fire and goes, damn, that's a good bourbon, or that's a good whiskey, or that's an amazing rye. I don't get that. Is it good? Yes. Is it $50 to $60 good? I would buy that $50 to $60 every day. It's double that. To me, it's not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze on this. And I like Woodford products. I think that they do a good job. I love their double oak. You know, I love even their standard fare Woodford Reserve. But this Master Collection just did not do it for me. Which leads me to, this was number 3, which leads me to number 2. And I feel like I'm being a hater here, and I don't want to be considered a hater here. And it's bad because I was actually at the Alabama Bourbon Lottery this weekend. And someone was talking to his buddy on the phone and said, you can get this bottle or you can get that bottle. And I said, if you get that bottle, you're going to be disappointed for the price. And I'm usually not like that. It just showed me that, damn, maybe I am a hater, that I'm really judging bourbon in a different way now. There's a lot of bourbons out there I can get by and say, okay, I can understand the price point. I can understand the price point. And this one kind of hurt my soul a little bit. This is another Woodford. And this one is 124 proof, which is more in my wheelhouse. I do think it's an excellent pour. I don't think it's that price point pour again. When you have something that's in that price point, I expect more out of it. And this went to a bottle share. A lot of people got to try it. This was the month before I was able to get this at Alabama Bourbon Drop. Was excited, went to a bourbon share, was able to share it with people. And it's a good pour. I'm not saying it's not a good pour. I'm just saying it's not that pour for that price. So which really surprised me is 2 Woodfords made this list. In the 90 proofer, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just a proof hound, or just maybe it just didn't do anything for me. But this one right here, I figured it's going to be in my wheelhouse. I'm going to be, yes, I don't mind it 700 mLs, and the proof point was going to be fine, and I was going to be okay. But now I've got 2 of these now, and I've really kind of been disappointed. Not in the product so much as the pricing of the product. So that has to play a big part of what you do when you do things, is you have to evaluate price versus, you know, I could say, yeah, these are good, but that's not doing you, or at least it's doing you a disservice and not doing you much justice if I don't say, for the price, it wasn't worth it to me. Now, my number 1, it's an absolute Tater bottle. You can call me Tater Bourbon, you know, something like that. I mean, it's a Tater bottle, and it absolutely caught me by the story behind it and all the things that were with it. And I'm just like, man, I know I probably shouldn't, but I did, you know. And that one right here is this Jefferson's Marion McLean. This bottle right here, it's got a good proof point. It's got good flavors to it. What do you think the problem is on it? The price. The price on this bottle is more than everything that I've shown out here today. You know, it's $300+ bottle. It's definitely not worth it. It's a good pour, it's a good story, but it's not that good of a pour. I could have gotten 5 to 6 other bottles that I preferred more, and enjoyed more, and said, I could have got 4 to 5 Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel bottles, whether it was the bourbon or the rye. And I could have said, I've done a lot better, higher proof point, more in my wheelhouse and flavor. But I went full Tater and said, this is a great story. This is a once in a time thing. And I really don't enjoy it because of the price point. Now, have I blinded this to other people just to kind of get their ideas? Of course, I'd love to do that kind of stuff. What do you think this is worth in your mind? Because maybe I look at things and I say, for this dollar amount, I'm expecting way too much. Or for this dollar amount, I'm expecting too little. So that's why the blind is the bias killer. My number one bottle was this Jefferson's. Over $300 for a bottle that I don't get something that just shoots off fireworks and says, I want to go on a second date, I want to propose, and I want to marry you. So it just didn't have those qualities for me. So I'd like to know if you've had any of these bottles and just said, Sean, you're stupid. You're missing out on something. Let me know what some of the biggest disappointments you have in bottles that you've purchased, that you went full Tater on something and go, why in the world did I do that? But these are my 5 bottles. Got an excellent pour here from Jesus, which I appreciate probably all these pours for varying factors, whether it's just not my taste or just way too dang much. Absolutely loving this. I hope you and your family have an amazing day. I hope you're getting ready for an amazing weekend for Labor Day weekend. If things work out well, Thursday we'll be down in Florida. I'll be down there Thursday, Friday, and the rest of the weekend having an amazing time. I absolutely love this time with my family at the beach time. But I hope you guys have an opportunity to spend time with your family. Football season's here, so excited for that. Have an amazing day and God bless.